Hey everybody, this is your girl Nikki Nicole of Divas of the Round Table Podcast. I'm joined here today on the show by my co-hosts Ladybug and Spicy Red. On today's show, we have Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Jewel Flonoy. They have been married for 44 years. Mr. Robert Flonoy is the founder and president of the Magnolia Gardens Community Development Corporation. The Magnolia Gardens CDC is a small grassroots neighborhood organization that was founded in April 2007. It is operated by volunteers from the community to help renew, restore, and rebuild their neighborhood. They provide much needed resources to their community. The Flonoys are the parents to 2 daughters and the grandparents of 2 granddaughters. They are servants in our community, and they work tirelessly to ensure our school's legacies continue. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show Mr. Robert and Miss Jewel Flonoy. Right, thank you. Thank you both for being here. All right. Thank you all for being here. So you and your wife are working to help keep schools open. What can the community do to help you guys' cause?
Okay, one of the main things is the schools, the school board main objective is to close our schools, sell the property, take the money out of the community.
Okay.
Okay, and once they do that, then, they take away all the resources out of our community.
Correct.
So, yes, as well as when we can get the community to come together as a whole, there are things, they say strength is greater in numbers.
Yes.
Right.
So it's not just affecting just Magnolia Garden. This is happening all over the United States, as a matter of fact, but particularly in Jacksonville, we have many schools that in our predominantly Black neighborhoods are being closed down.
Yes.
And they're selling those properties off to investors to come in and put up apartments and build homes and stuff like that.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you notice that it was a predominantly urban or a Black issue, that it is happening majority in the Black community? So you just said that it is something that's happening.
It's happening more so in the
Okay.
In the Black community. They do have some schools like on the south side of town that they are looking at closing as well.
Okay.
But we have about maybe 7 or 8 schools here in Duval, in our north side type of town that are going to be closed.
Okay.
And I want to elaborate, because you said, what can the community do? This is what we're trying to do right now, is work on our neighborhoods, canvass our communities to get their buy-in and get their support as to how we can save these schools. Because, as I say, a lot depends on where the parents do send their children to school. But we got to bring it back to the center, because when the money goes to a private school as opposed to a public school, that money goes with that child. And we want to keep the money on this side of town. So engage in that community, canvassing those neighborhoods, listening. We've been taking surveys. We've been doing many different things to make the community aware. And that's another thing. If the community is not aware, things happen.
Yes. So do you think, like, when they started the grading of the schools, like giving out school grades, that kind of started to shine a negative light on those schools that was in those neighborhoods, that parents more or less looking at this grade and just, I'm gonna move my child because this school is a D school or F school. And they actually, the city, if I remember correctly, they gave parents the option to move those children after that school, instead of just trying to work on why this school has this grade. We're just going to give you the option to send your kid away.
I can answer that question. I was a parent organizer. For Boys and Girls Club. My agency was contracted by Boys and Girls Club, Warm Poverty Incorporated, to for me to go over there and parent engage.
Okay.
And I can tell you, I work closely with SP Livingston Elementary School.
Okay.
And the students there that year, I was there, they passed a writing test. Every last one of all of the third graders, fourth grade, fifth graders passed that writing test. But you know what they did? Mm-hmm. They changed the grades.
Yeah.
Oh,
they changed the grade because they were too successful. They changed the grade. Mm-hmm. So these are things that parents don't know that is happening. That's how parents are undermined by the school board, city officials. This didn't happen with our school board. This happened with the people in Tallahassee who was hired.
Okay.
Us.
Yeah, because in Tallahassee, they can change the grading and the scoring whenever they get ready to, because that happened to us last school year. We were slated for a B, and 48 hours before the grades were supposed to come out, they changed the scale. And guess what? When they changed the scale, we dropped to a C, and we were 1 point away from a B. Now this year, we bust their heads wide open, and we are A, a high A. They can't take nothing away from us. So we jumped all the way from a C to an A. And so I think they need to realize that these schools that you're closing, the teachers work extremely hard with keeping these schools, maintaining these grades, because certain sides of town, you look at them and say, well, this side is always this, they always have this grade, or they always get this side of town always has this. There are some really magnificent jewels on the north side, and the problem is a lot of the people in the community don't realize it, but outsiders see that. That's why they want that property. Mm-hmm. Because again, it's also low. They can buy it at a cheaper price than they could on another side of town. Mm-hmm. So if they can buy it at a cheaper price, they can get more money. Right. They can get the same amount of money from other sides if they're paying the same amount of rent. So we got to realize that we have jewels on the north side, and everybody sees these jewels. The outsiders see the jewels, and we need to take time and fight for our schools, because we are losing a lot of the legacies. We're losing a lot of the names of the school. Yes. Because like the elementary school that I went to, Forest Hills. Forest Hills is not Forest Hills anymore. It's Sally B. Mathis. Yeah. So all new people know is Forest Sally B. Mathis. But when I grew up, I knew Forest Hills. So let's talk about the Carter G. Woodson Elementary, Mr. Flonoy, and what are you doing as far as with the Carter G. Woodson?
Okay, Carter G. Woodson was built in 1966. It was built a year right after Raines High School.
Okay.
I attended Carter G. Woodson in 1966 in the second grade. And I think that was one of the most beautiful experiences that I had ever had. Mm-hmm. Coming up as a child to walk into a brand new school like that, And it's amazing that school was kept up very, very well. In spite of the school board telling us that it wasn't well maintained, and that it had been vandalized and all of this. And my organization, we found out that we knew that they were closing the school, but the post had been temporary. Okay. We had a meeting with one of our school board district members in 2019. Mm-hmm. And they were telling us then that they was planning on closing Carter G. Woodson and sending the kids to Northwestern. Mm-hmm. But however, if we took a 50-cent sale tax, they would be able to rebuild Raines, rebuild Reval High School, as well as Carter G. Woodson. Mm-hmm. So we were sold on a 50-cent sale tax.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Fast forward, maybe about November 2024, the same school board member that we spoke with in 2019 gave us a call to tell us that he wanted to speak with us about Carter G. Woodson and what their plans were with it. So we met and found out that not only now were they not just closing the school, but they wanted to tear the school down and sell the property. So we asked if the community, even back in 2019, if the house and sale tax didn't pass, would the community be able to retain that school? Because we don't have any resources in that community. We don't have any playgrounds, no parks. We don't have a community center.
Right.
And there's many things that are needed there. So when he told us this in 2024, we asked again, can we retain that property? And he mentioned to us that the school board was giving away schools for $1. Okay, so when we inquired about the school for $1, all of a sudden they don't do that anymore. Okay. So yeah, so we got involved. I went out to reach out to the mayor to see if the city, because even though they are two different entities, they are both government, so they can transfer property from one government to the other government.
Gotcha.
So we were just trying to get the mayor to take it over and allow them to sell it to us for $1. Well, of course, the mayor promised us they would look into it.
But they never looked.
Never took a phone call back again.
So my question is, if they said the half-cent tax would ensure building Rains, Rebought, and Carter G. Woodson, apparently the half-cent tax went through because Rebought was rebuilt. So how come Carter G. Woodson got kicked out of the plan?
Because they want to sell the property. They want to take that resource, that funds, and take it to another side of town.
So basically you get the half-cent tax money for the rebuilding of the school, but you don't utilize that money to rebuild the school. So where's the money going?
Okay, they're saying that what they're doing now, they've gone over budget. So they're saying they have a deficit now for what they're doing. And they yet to build Rains High School yet.
Correct. My school, yes.
So,
correct.
So the main purpose of it is to take that money and take it to another side of town.
Okay.
Okay. Now, each child carry $8,000 with them when they go to a school.
Okay.
Carter G. Woodson has 500 seats of students at Carter G. Woodson. That means that when they tear that school down, because right now it's still on their books, so it's costing them $4 million a year right now just with the school being there and not being utilized.
Okay.
Okay, so just by tearing it down, they're going to save over $4 million.
Wow.
That's interesting, like that a school that nobody's in, no electric is going there.
Right.
That should have been paid for many years ago. How is it still counting how does it cost so much money still?
Because they have to keep them schools until they get out of their name. They have to keep them on the book.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what is it on the books that's costing $4 million when there's no electric going there?
No, they don't have that $8,000 per child
To take some of the costs.
to take some of that
Gotcha.
cost. You see what I'm saying? See, so therefore, when the school board is giving that $8,000, okay, for those kids to be there.
To be there.
Okay, so when those kids are not there, they are still counting those seats as if they were there.
Wow. Well, they need to fix it up and put them there.
And then you have to realize they spend a lot of money on upkeeps and doing things, all these safety measures. They spend money on the safety measures, and you're like, well, why are we spending, like with my school, like, well, why are we spending all this money when we get ready to close and we have to move? I feel like sometimes it's money wasted on the things that they do for some of these schools, because if you're closing a school, why are you going to fix it in? If you're closing the school, why are you trying to still run electrical stuff through the school if you're closing school? So I feel like that's money wasted that could be used for something else in another area. Like if the school is short on computers, let's get the computers, because the computers can go wherever they go. So it's a lot of things that they spend. We have these new badges. Spent money on all these badges.
Yeah.
And all the schools got them, and it's a little thing up in the ceiling. So if something happens, you push the buttons and the ambulance or rescue or fire department come. We closing. What will we? That's millions of dollars that you spent with the fiber optics in a school that's brick. You got to realize these schools like Carter G, they're brick. So it's going to cost more money to run stuff and do stuff in a brick school than it would one of these newer schools that already have the fiber optics. The new schools, the older schools don't have all of this kind of stuff. So it's money that they spend in the upkeep. It's like $1 million, $2 million, like he said, to keep the older schools running. It's like $1 million or $2 million.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Flonoy. You brought a poster here to the show that showed Carter G. Woodson, and I saw some debris and some rubble, like it's falling apart. With it being at this stage of the game with that school, is there anything the community can do to save Carter G. Woodson at this point?
Well, let me explain that to you, what you're looking at. March the 4th, we had a walkthrough through the school because we were allowed by the school board. We met the school board officials out there, the director of facilities. We met her out there as well as other school board staff.
Okay.
And we were told that the school was in bad shape, that it hadn't been properly upkept, and that it had been vandalized. So we asked to take a walk through the school to see what kind of condition it was in, so if we were to be able to retain it, that we could see how much money we would need to put into it. Mm-hmm. Well, they really didn't want us to walk through the whole school. Mm-hmm. But once I got through the door, of course, I walked every area of that school and found out that it had not been vandalized. Mm-hmm. It had been well kept. Mm-hmm. And it had a brand new roof and a brand new AC unit and everything there. Okay. Mm-hmm. That was the purpose of them not wanting us to walk through the whole school. Okay. Because they knew that it was fed into us. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we have a gentleman by the name of Ronnie King. He's with the Village Project. And they have an organization where they work with neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And he came to that walkthrough with us. And he came to a few of our meetings to see what we was talking about. And he was interested in working with us. Okay. So that was on March the 4th. March the 6th, the village came in and put $300,000 down on the school to keep them from tearing it down. Mm. However, March the 8th, I want to say that it was by the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord came to me and said, Robert, go by that school because they finna pull a fast one on you. Mm-hmm. They weren't supposed to tear the school down until April the 15th. Okay, and I didn't know at the time that the money had been put down on the project at that time. So some came to me and said, Robert, go check that school out because they finna pull a fast one on you. And lo and behold, I got in my truck and I rode over there to the school, and sure enough, they had a bulldozer on site. And what you seen on that picture, they had started to do demo on that school. So I called the school board member that I was dealing with, and he said, no, Robert, they ain't tearing it down. They ain't supposed to tear it down yet. I said, well, they tearing it down. He said, that couldn't be. I said, well, you need to come out and take a look at it because I've been in construction for over 40 years. I know the difference between asbestos abatement and and demolition.
Yes.
So in a way, he went out and come to find out, sure enough, they was tearing it down and they stopped them.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the police and everybody out because at this point, the contractor had trespassed.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to be a big legality about that. So now it still is illegal right now because the contractor is responsible for the damage that he done to the school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And besides, the village had already made an agreement
Yes.
with the school board, so they also in legal with him as well.
Yes.
Okay, so what we were doing and what we would like to see is because the contractor is responsible, we would like to see the contractor being made to come in and put the school back to its original.
It's original. Okay.
Now, and saying that, everybody want to say, well, it's going to cost too much money. Well, when you're in construction, you are required to carry liability
Yes, liability insurance. Correct.
So, and personally, me, myself, I carry $2 million worth of liability, and I'm a little small company.
Yes.
Okay, so I can imagine the liability that company would be
Correct.
having, you know what I'm saying? And regardless, they are still responsible.
Mm-hmm.
So what we would like to see is that the contractor be made, to make the school back whole. Okay, and we would like to see the school board give us that school at no cost because we've been paying taxes on that school for over 60 years.
Correct.
So we have paid for that, and that money belongs to the community. It don't belong to the school board. But of course, Big Brother, he gonna strong arm you and take your money just like a big bully.
Yeah.
So our idea was if we could get to school. I've been in construction for over 40 years. I've been a master plumber for 33 years. I've worked all around the state of Florida and did many projects around here. And as well as I have electrician, DHC, and carpenters, and all of these are blacks.
Yes.
And all us wanted to come together and we could utilize that school in order to train our youth.
Oh, that's good.
We can have a community center there
Yes.
where we could bring the seniors in, where they can come in and get resources.
Yes.
We can have one section of the school for veterans where they could come in and they can get the information that they're needing.
Yes.
We can also have agriculture where we could bring the kids in and teach them how to farm.
Yes.
And we also, the village was going to bring in AI to the school, That's
Yes.
Which was
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, so it's so many potentials
Yes.
that school could be used for. And for them to want to sell it for $2 million, you understand what I'm saying? $2 million, what is that for what that school could represent in that community? That is priceless.
Yeah.
And may I add, that school is also a safety net for the community. I want to say that a couple of weeks or so ago, 2 little girls were missing from Magnolia Garden. And they would never have had to have left their neighborhood to go to a park if we had one right there in our area. And this is what we want, a safety net for our children as well, so that they won't have to go outside of their communities.
This is something
You
that,
guys-
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
You
Spicer.
recently held an event at Johnson YMCA. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes. The reason why the event was held was to listen. We wanted to hear the voices of our educators, our principals, and our community leaders as to what we can do to save our schools, and basically to build a strategic plan and to build our action steps to build something concrete as to how we can bring something to the community and connect with the community. We're getting ready to do 2 more events, and these events are going to involve the community. We've already mobilized all our advocacy groups and the different people who's working with us. Now we're going to canvass the neighborhoods, and the first one we're going to canvass is Magnolia Garden, the residents of Magnolia Garden, because the principal brought out so graciously and effectively. To me, it sounded like a plea to ask the parents, why would you move your child from a public school that has all of the resources to a private school that really is not going to offer the resources? And I've been in both settings. I've taught private school, I've substituted public school, taught public school, and I've been a community worker for years. So I know that there is a need for our children to be in public school. If I had to choose right now, I would choose public school over private school, because the resources that these children will get to be successful in life is going to come from your public school.
And let me just add to that. Public schools are, they are governed. Charter schools are not. They don't have any
No.
regulations.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
So therefore, your child could come to school one day out of the year and go to the next grade.
Wow.
Why?
And
Why? Because that school don't care about that child. That school care about that
That money.
it's true.
So they're gonna pass him from this one to the next one. Next time, they don't care whether or not if he coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
And I can speak on that. I had a child, and it hurt my heart because that child missed 130 days of school. School has 180 days.
Wow.
And the grandmother and I had already spoken, and she knew that this child didn't have enough to go on to the 3rd grade. Principal came in, it just interrupted the conversation and said, oh no, we have means to get your child to the next grade. She can come to summer school. As a teacher, you know, Ms. Reed, that you can't miss 130 days of school and be successful to go to the 3rd grade.
Because it would be all kind of safety nets as far as attendance issues. That would be the first thing. They will have attendance, AIT, like what is going on. And then if you start, they put you on a contract, and then if you still missing days, then they're going to go after you legally. After 10 days, really, after 3 days, you're supposed to call. After 3 days, the teachers are supposed to call. After about 7 days, the guidance counselor needs to start calling. So it's like a buildup if you're missing too many days, and what's the reason for it?
And I've got to add, too, I know that if a child missed 10 days of school, that's a DCF issue. And I was told that she could go on to that 3rd grade. And it just broke my heart. It just really did, because I do know, and Truancy was never called. Truancy was never called.
Well, let me ask you, because we're going to have to get ready to wrap things up here. Before we go, what is it that you two want to relate to the public about your cause, what you got going on with Carter G. Woodson and the schools in our communities that's being closed unjustly by the powers that be?
Well, the main thing is that I'm also a member of what we call We're the People.
Okay.
And that's where all of the community leaders, we get up around a round table like this, and we talk about how we can all come together.
Okay.
and help each other with each other's cause in their communities.
Okay.
Okay, so that's one of the things that I would like to see, that when these leaders go back to their communities, that these people, the parents and just members of that community, get on board with their leaders, because like I said before, strength comes in numbers.
That's right.
So if we can get all of the communities together, then we can come together and we can solve some of these problems.
Okay.
But if we stand divided, we're not going to get anything done.
Okay. Ms. Flonoy, you want to add to that?
To add to that, this is why it's up to us to canvass these neighborhoods, because if the community does not know what's going on and we're not getting that proper information out to them, then they're stuck. And the only people who will know that information are the leaders. So this is why we are strongly canvassing these neighborhoods.
All right. So there you have it, you guys. This was Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Jewel Flonoy of the Magnolia Garden CDC. You guys, we're asking that you all support their cause and their foundation, what they're trying to do in our communities to help save Carter G. Woodson and other schools in our communities. That was our legacies that we went to, they went to, our parents went to. We have to do what's right and stand up for our children and our futures in our communities, you guys. This has been... I'm sorry, Mr. Flonoy.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I would like to say one other thing is that if we could get these parents as well as the community to call each one of those school board members and the city council.
Okay.
Call their city council persons, and it don't have to be their representative. Call all of them.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that they know that we're here and that what our mission is, and try to get them on board as well with us.
All right. So there you have it. Be a voice. And just because you graduate don't mean that it's over.
It's
we
not
got to protect
over.
our school's legacies, you
have
guys.
to keep going.
Yes.
Right.
So I want to give it up for my co-host, Ladybug. She's been in education for 27 years. So don't forget, if you get that call from the school telling you come pick up your bad behind kids, my girl Ladybug has been in education for 27 years. If you're riding the highways and byways of the good old United States of America and see that FedEx truck, think of my girl Spicy Red. She's out there on the road bringing us goods here and there. And if you think of anything dealing with love, peace, and prosperity, you guys think of me. And don't forget, support the Magnolia Gardens CDC. Y'all be blessed. Have a good night.
Okay.
Good night.
All right.